Dude, today I had a customer drop off a bunch of knives and more than half of them are serrated. So we had a chat and guess what? He doesn't think he needs so many serrated knives. So we get to modify some serrated knives. Hey, between you and I, serrated knives are the biggest gimmick of all. We're gonna put straight edges on these things and we're gonna make them all razor sharp. Oh yeah, let's modify. All right, let's size these bad boys up. Grain stickers, it just helped me keep track of which customer owns which knives. And in this case, this is our serrated customer. I never understood this whole flat grind right here on the heel. So we're definitely gonna be taking care of that. This one, we might just try to match this angle and grind up. Definitely most interested in these two for the film, for the video, because I mean, come on, we got a Shun. We cannot film that. And then this thing, I mean, that thing's just cool looking, right? So we'll see if we get time around for this guy or not. Let's get to work. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and I'm just gonna get rid of all the bumps, so to speak. Get my profile together. Let's fix that heel up. Very thick at the tip. Oh yeah. Shun, baby. We actually got a good pull on some of it, but missed it on others. Not exactly sure why. I'm always looking for ways to get better, right? So I'm exploring the tool rest. This tool rest has that little safety guard there. You see it sticking up right next to the belt. I think it's very important. If that's not there, I guarantee you this blade is getting sucked in between the tool rest and the belt. Had it happen, it's not fun. It's very scary. It's very dangerous. I love this YouTube experience because I get so many recommendations from different professionals across the world. I didn't end up loving the tool rest. But here we are jumping over, time to get this Shun nice and sharp. I saw a burr start getting risen within 2 or 3 passes on these things. They're just so, it's crazy how fast you can apex on these ceramic belts. When sharpening on these low grit ceramic belts that are very aggressive, you need to be mindful of what's called Carbide Tear Out. I'll kind of deep dive into that here in a little bit. But once you finish, you get your apex, you need to really examine the area you ground and look for little tiny craters. Because if you have them, at least in my opinion, you got one more step to do. And that's grit 600 silicon carbide.
Got a burr. Man, this 2x42, too easy, too easy.
Now, why silicon carbide? Well, I've not been able to find ceramic in grit 600. For all I know, it doesn't even exist. Silicon carbide is harder than aluminum oxide. Unfortunately, I don't believe it's hard enough to effectively cut all types of carbides. And I'm not 100% sure if it'll cut the carbides in this, but it's the best I got, so you know it's what I'm using.
Well, that grind line turned out pretty ugly. And blending it with the non-woven wheel, not an option. It's just not working for me. So, go over here to the slack side of the belt. And we'll blend it here.
While trying to grind off all those serrations, I just couldn't get a nice even grind all the way to the top or the bottom of those cutouts in the blade. So I'm using this slack part to be able to get in there and bring that grind all the way up, give a nice convex blend from those cutouts down to the edge.
Problem with this support bar is can't work right here because this is in my way, so I got to come down here.
This is kind of common sense, but we do have a lot of folks who are researching different machines and methods to do knife repair. If you're freehanding, always use edge trailing. And what that means is the belt is moving away from the edge of the blade.
All right. It's able to kind of blend that ugly grind I had put on there for the most part. Actually, I kind of want to do one more. I want to get a sharp point on it, but I also don't want to go to the point where it becomes too flexible. But I think that's good. I think from here we go ahead and throw our conditioning belt on and watch that magic happen, because this is the, man, these things, holy cow. If you're here learning, gathering information, trying to figure out how you're gonna set up your ultimate knife repair setup, you have to get this belt. Let me tell you, these things are friggin' awesome. Oh, I'm like, why is that not catching? There we go. All right. Yeah, these things will, yeah, it's just incredible.
I love feedback, and I constantly get reminded that I can run my belts faster. I prefer to run them slow.
Just gotta be careful of heat friction though. These things warm blades up really fast. Look at that, it's already happening. These things are magic. Okay, give it a warm water bath, cool it down. I don't like to cool my steel too quickly, so I use warm water. Y'all ever see what happened to atoms when, you know, a windshield's frozen and you throw hot water on it, or vice versa? Yeah, think about that.
I'm not aware of the exact science of what happens if you abruptly change the temperature on steel. Obviously, it's not going to shatter like glasses when you go from super cold to super hot or vice versa. But nonetheless, there's a reaction taking place. And I must assume something similar is happening when the blade goes from 150 down to an ice cold bath, you know? But I want to avoid that. I want to do a nice gentle reduction in temperature.
Let's go ahead and zero that bad boy out. And we're gonna go ahead and match the Shun at 16.2 degrees. Why 0.2, you may wonder. I'll cover that in a minute.
So why do I like to do 16.2 versus 16 or 17.2 versus 17? The next step after this, I'm going to thin the burr at 16, slightly under the angle of which I apexed. And I'm simply thinning out the burr and trying to remove that plastic zone that may have been created during the grind phase.
Got it nice and thin. That burr came up so quick, and I dropped my handle on the edge of the belt. So in a moment, y'all get to see what a sharpener does when that happens. Fun. Well, here we are again. We kissed the handle. Looks like we kissed it a couple times. I just didn't notice the other ones. It's unfortunate, but yeah, this happens. Well, y'all saw how I blended the edges, you know, kind of convexed them and blended all that together. That's pretty much what I'm going to end up doing here. I realize not many YouTube channels show this side of things, but this is a real reality. Happens to me at least once every 2 weeks. Make a little mistake, and here you are. All right, let's see if this leather belt can take care of that burr for us. This particular belt, I think it's the 3 micron belt. It's so black I can't even tell anymore. Oh. Important to shake this up. I like to get it 100% dissolved. There we go.
When I first got into belt sharpening, I didn't know any better, so I'd write 3UM underneath the belt in Sharpie. Well, over time, it's gonna get covered up. So a little trick I use at the seam of the belt, I'll do 3 hash marks with Sharpie. Just 3 little lines or 6 lines to represent what micron I have on that. Because the side or the edge of the belt, that doesn't get that nasty black layer on it. So we did our apexing at 16.2. We thinned the burr at 16, and now we're actually gonna deburr at 16.8, 17 degrees, increased angle. I do this on soft mass market steels. It works out great, let me tell you, every time.
Got to be really careful with this tip, being that it swings back down. I don't want it to dig into the belt and see what happens.
Just gonna do 4 quick passes at low RPM, and then we're gonna test to see how the knife performs.
Well, hopefully that's all it takes. Piece of printer paper here. Yeah. Kind of figured it would work on printer paper. Let's try some thinner paper. Oh, geez. Tell you guys what, this diamond spray, my goodness. My goodness. It's the most exciting product that's entered this shop in a while, let me tell you. More details to come. I'm just waiting on 5 more guys to share some information with me. Okay. Remember this guy? It's back. Okay, now, I didn't mention this, but on this one, I did 16.7 on the deburr. It's a soft steel. This one, I'm going to do exactly the angle, which was 16.2. So we're going to lower it. No way, I just got that first try. God, I love when that happens. Belt's going on the Beaver. This is 380 RPM. Maybe we should do it before and after here. It's cutting, but it's loud. Hear it? Okay. Let's hear it after a few passes here. Yep, looks like we got our angle just right. I see a Carbide Tear Out. And that is indicative of a, you know, low grit ceramic belt working this blade. See if these diamonds kind of buff it out for me. All right. So much quieter. Oh. Guys, I can't tell you how excited I am about this diamond suspension. All right, we've got two incredibly sharp knives.
I've adopted the kangaroo hanging leather strop for my finishing touch on all steel. Mass market steel, super steel, just in case there's any remaining little bit of burr, especially those foil ones, they get really stuck on there. This thing works, man, I'm telling you. These root tail strops are becoming more difficult to obtain due to the regulatory nature of animal products being shipped abroad.
All right, here we go. The Shun should score higher than this cheese knife looking thing. Hopefully my head's not blocking this. $117. Yeah, I'll take it. If it was above 130, I'm going back. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I just grabbed that. Come on. 105. Yeah, buddy. Stick around a couple more seconds and you'll be able to hopefully see a close-up of that Carbide Tear Out I was talking about. It's just a byproduct of a low grit ceramic belt. Will I do it again? Hopefully not. But man, there's just nothing better. Jeez. There's nothing better than a dialed sharpening system. Took me a while to get it dialed on the Tormic machines. And I'm like, on those, no question. Pretty close to perfect. Belts, I think I still got a little room. I could get a little better. I'd like to get sub 100 every single time on the belts. We're getting there. But that diamond spray, holy cow, like my expectations have been exceeded. I couldn't be happier. And big thank you to all my friends at the Sharpeners Discord. I run into a situation and jump on there and say, hey, this is what's going on. And boom, in real time, I'm getting real time, real professional sharpener feedback. Man, what? Literally the coolest thing ever. Man, this is so much fun. Check out these photos.
Some of you may be wondering, what is a carbide tear out? So check out this microscopic crater on the edge of this blade. Think of high-end knife steel like a chocolate chip cookie. The dough is the steel, and the chocolate chips, those are tiny rock hard particles called carbides. These carbides, they're what make that super steel blade so special. When we use coarse sharpening grits, the abrasive can sometimes act like a crowbar instead of cutting through the chocolate chip. It grabs the whole carbide and rips it out of the dough entirely, creating a microscopic hole, kind of like a little crater. This can create a weak point on the edge, and that can lead to greater chipping later. It's going to feel like a nice toothy edge, and it's going to feel sharp, but it could degrade quicker than it would have otherwise. And this is why it's important to transition from coarse to fine grits. We have to avoid ripping carbides and slide into the polishing phase. Well, I really screwed the pooch on exposure here. Can't really see the edge that well. But before I give this knife back to the client, I'm gonna have to polish out that crater using 600 grit silicon carbide, not aluminum oxide. Aluminum oxide is gonna pull the dough, sharpen the dough, but it won't sharpen those chocolate chips. If you want to get really good at sharpening a knife repair,